Today I want to share with you the one thing that a lot of experts will not tell you when it comes to building and scaling a successful online business. Let's check it out. Welcome to my studio. Now, over the last few years, I've built a 7-figure business called Master Music Licensing out of this studio. And this is an online business where I teach musicians how to get their music into TV shows, films, and commercials. But you are not here to learn how to do that. You're here because you want to learn how to build your own highly successful and profitable online business. And that's where I come in. Now, after the success that I experienced with my music-based business, I began sharing the systems and strategies that I used to build that business with hundreds of online entrepreneurs just like you. And prior to getting into the online space, I had actually been a professional musician since the late 90s, and I've had over 2,500 placements of my own songs on over 850 TV episodes, over 200 different television series, dozens of international film trailers and commercials, and I became a recognized authority in what's called the sync licensing industry. Now, throughout my career, I developed a 4-step process that's allowed me to generate all those placements of my songs. And over the years, many artists, composers, music publishers, and record labels have asked me to consult with them and show them my process. In 2018, I turned this into an online program. But when I first went online with this business, I had zero idea of what I was doing. Then after my first launch, which actually far exceeded my expectations, I dove headfirst into the online space and I began studying all of the latest content marketing strategies. I then took those strategies, I tweaked them, and I created a very systematic and streamlined approach to building a highly profitable business. We went from $0 in revenue to over $1 million in under 2 years, and we've continued to scale since then. But the key aspect to this is that I created an approach that fit my personality and was in line with how I wanted to live my life. What happened next was I started sharing my business building process with others who wanted to share their knowledge online as well. Now, some of those students have gone on to grow massively successful businesses. And at the same time, others have not. Yet they learned the exact same system and they learned the exact same strategies. So the question that I had was, why such a dramatic difference in their results? And I wanted to figure this out. I wanted to see if there were any holes in my system that I was unaware of. What was it that allowed one person to have tremendous success while another struggled to connect with their audience and generate sales? Was it their niche? Was it their lead magnet? Was it the result that their program promised? While each of these, of course, are extremely important, I discovered that they weren't ultimately what made the difference between those who succeeded and those who struggled. The difference came down to one thing, and that is falling in love with the process. In the book Start With Why by Simon Sinek, which I highly recommend, by the way, Simon shares a story. It's a very interesting story. In the early 1900s, a man by the name of Samuel Langley set out to create the first airplane. In fact, he was given a $50,000 grant, and this, of course, allowed him to gather the greatest engineering minds and resources that the money could buy. Yet, at the same time, the Wright brothers, they had no grant. They were not highly educated engineers. They were just two brothers who owned a bicycle shop. And compared to Langley, they had an extreme lack of resources. But they were the ones who succeeded. And why do you think that is? Well, it's because they loved what they were doing. This is the secret that many other online business experts, they don't tell you. And I believe they don't talk about this because it requires admitting that their systems and strategies aren't bulletproof. My process is not bulletproof, and I'll tell you that right now. But neither are theirs. Okay? In order to successfully build a highly profitable business in today's creator economy, you have to love what you're doing. It's been my experience that anyone can build a highly profitable business, regardless of age, education, or location. But the ones who do build that highly profitable business, they're the ones who love the process. They love creating content that serves their audience. They love connecting with their audience. They love teaching They love sharing. Of course, they continue to grow and learn themselves, right? The students of mine who have been extremely successful, the ones who are making six figures and more, they love the process. But the students of mine who continue to struggle, they're the ones who consistently complain about the process. They complain about their audience. They say things like, oh, I swear I have the dumbest followers. They complain about having to create content, right? Oh, I hate being on camera and recording myself. They make excuses for why they can't write emails or create offer pages. They say things like, oh, I'm just not a good writer. Look, these are all skills that you develop. They're not an identity that you take on. You don't have to be a writer in order to connect with your audience through email. Okay, just like you don't have to be a model or a photographer to connect with your audience on social media platforms, right? The problem is a lot of people want the result, but they hate the process that gets the result. So while you can study the systems and strategies of all the online business experts, myself included, most importantly, you need to find the process that excites you. You have to find a mentor who you connect with and who you resonate with. Now, when I was first learning about content marketing, I soaked up everything I could, from all the other experts that were out there. But it wasn't until I took all of that information and then crafted a process or a system that actually excited me and inspired me that my business just took off. And it really took off like a rocket. Now, in order for me to run a successful business, it must first be in alignment with my personality so that I can connect authentically with my audience and authentically offer my programs and services to them. But, the reality is both the communication and the selling processes, they have to line up with who you are, and you have to enjoy it. This is why I've laid out my exact process in my book, 7 Simple Steps to a 7-Figure Business. There's no reason for you to waste a second of your time learning from me if my specific system to building a highly profitable online business doesn't resonate with you. And, I think we've all had that teacher who hated their job, and we knew they hated their job. We knew they hated showing up to class and teaching. And that lack of passion for their job just oozed out of them, right? And think about it. How did that affect you? You probably hated their class. Even if you were interested in the subject, you probably had no desire to learn from them because you knew they had no passion for teaching you. Now flip the script. If you want your audience to eagerly invest in themselves through you and through your offerings, they have to feel your excitement for sharing your knowledge and your skill set with them. If you want your audience to connect with you, you have to enjoy the process of connecting with them. And I heard this phrase years ago, and it's always stuck with me. No one cares about you or your business until they know you care about them first. Think about that one. Would you want to invest your hard-earned money into someone else who doesn't care about the results you get from working with them? No, of course not. No one does, right? So the secret to growing a highly profitable online business is you have to fall in love with the process of providing results for your clients. There are many strategies and online business models that have the potential to create mind-blowing revenue for you. But you have to find the one that aligns with you. When your audience feels the excitement and passion that you have for connecting with them and sharing your knowledge and your skill set with them, as well as the authentic desire that you have to help them succeed, they're going to see you as a trusted advisor, and they're going to be excited to learn from you. But you must fall in love with the process where it will be an unenjoyable experience for you. I promise you that. So I hope this resonated with you. If you haven't yet, make sure to check out this ebook, 7 Simple Steps to a 7-Figure Business. It's free, okay? And it will really clarify my particular online business building process. I've seen this process completely change the lives of so many of my students. And if creating content that both teaches and authentically connects with your audience is a business model that aligns with you, then this can be a game changer for you as well. So make sure you check it out, give it a read, and I will talk to you soon.